Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. A very warm welcome to everyone. Welcome to the session of Threat Intelligence Foundation. So before we start with the session, let me give you a quick introduction about myself. Okay. Hi team, this is Abhishek Sharma. I will be your host for next couple of hours. Okay. So if you talk about myself, I started my career into cybersecurity 8 years back. Okay, so entered into network domain, then moved into an offensive side of security, and post to that I keen in interest into the defensive side of security as well. So understood how the defensive system work, what is an SOC, what is an intel part, what is an forensic part. Okay, so gain knowledge over there, and throughout this tenure, it's an again, if we are into security, we have to keep ourselves updated. So I got an opportunity to upgrade myself day by day. So throughout this tenure, I packed up some of the certification in my bag. So a few of the certification from EC Council, that is your CEH, CSCU, CTIA, CSA, ECIH, and I hold few certification from CompTIA as well. Network Plus, Security Plus, CYSA Plus, Pentest Plus, and few of the certification from cloud as well, AZ900, AZ104, and couple of certification from an auditing from an ISO as well, that is your ISO 27001 LA and LI as well. Not only I worked into the offensive and defensive part of security, I perform internal and external audit as well for government and non-government organization. Now, the agenda to this webinar is, in this webinar, we are going to talk about what is a threat intel. Okay, not only that, in nowadays, okay, why do we require this threat intelligence? What we can do with this threat intelligence? Okay, so we will be starting with an introduction about threat intelligence. Then we'll be looking into understanding about the digital landscape of a threat intel. What is the life cycle of a threat intel? If we are working or we are associated to an organization and they ask us to perform an intelligence to collect the information, now how that process will be. Okay, so we will be exploring the life cycle of a threat intelligence and what is the roles and responsibilities of a threat intel analyst or a threat intel person. We will be discussing that as well. Okay, so this will be the agenda of the day. So let's get started without any further ado. The first question arises into the mind is, what is a threat intelligence? Okay, now threat intelligence is what? It's an information over there we are collecting, analyzing. Okay, analyzing the information. Now for an organization, this information is very much important. Why? Understand from a defensive perspective. Okay, defense against your cyber threat. Yes, for an organization, they need to prepare their self-defense as well. Now to prepare their self-defense, they require some of the informations as well. Okay, with a threat intel part, we are involving, we are gathering that data, that potential threat information. What can be a potential threat for an organization? Okay, there are multiple cyber threats nowadays. Multiple malwares have been arriving, isn't it? Which is involving the potential threat to your data, a potential threat to your devices. Okay, now how we can collect all this information? So there are certain key points for a threat intelligent officer, that how we will be collecting the information. First of all, in cyber threat intelligence, which means that collecting or studying the information of a cyber threat. Okay. Now this is also helping the organization to understand or protect themselves from all such kind of a threat. Okay. Now how this has been collected? What is the process to do a threat intelligence? First of all, uh, threat intel person, what he will be doing, he will be collecting the data. Okay, data collection. Now data collection can be of an vital sources, multiple sources. Okay, it can be from your network logs, it can be from your security applications, it can be from your public or private security feeds. Okay, it can be from an open source intelligent gathering. We have an open source OSINT tools nowadays. Okay, we can if we want certain information, we can take and help from an open source intelligent gathering. Okay, So we can collect all this information from these sources. Okay, once the information has been collected, after that we analyze that data. Okay, once the data has been collected, it has been analyzed. Okay, which we are going to identify if this data or if this information can be a potential threat. Okay, now this analyze can be done manually as well by the cybersecurity expert, or it can be we can use multiple tools as well. We have multiple tools algorithm available nowadays. Okay, now once the data has been analyzed, we are going to classify the data. Okay, now classify means categorize this data into different factors, into different form. Okay, the data which we have collected, some data is in malware, so store this information into the malware department, malware documentation. Some of the data which we have collected is from a phishing domain. Okay, a phishing attack, this information, so store this information into another domain. Some of the information is often DDoS attack, store this information, store this threat information into another domain. Okay, so what we are doing, we are classifying all the attacks, all these threats into different categories. Okay, now once this has been classified, once it has been categorized, we are going to check whether that intelligence is most valuable to our organization into the timely manner, or if it is not. If we are using this tool, then it can be helpful. If we are not using this tool, okay, for let's suppose, for example, inside the organization we are using GoToMeeting tool. Okay, now we started collecting the information, and we got the information that GoToMeeting tool version 2.3.4 is having a vulnerability. Okay, we got this information from an open source. Now if we are using the same version, okay, post to that, what we are going to do, we are going to first of all update that version, isn't it? Okay, if there is no update, find the alternate for it. Now when we started collecting the data, we got the information, we will fix that patch as well. That will be sent to a different team. Okay, now take the scenario into an opposite direction. We got the data of an GoToMeeting application, but we are not using that application. Now that data is often no use for me. Okay, it is most valuable data, but it is no use of me. But that information will be stored somewhere else. In case, in further, if our client is using certain data, certain tools, by any chance, if we require to install some application or this application in near into the future, so make sure it is above to this version or it is below to this version, not exactly this version, because this version is having certain vulnerability. Okay, the action has been taken, the effectiveness has been given to that particular action. Okay, that is what your threat intel is. Now there are multiple cyber threats nowadays. Okay, there are certain terminologies which have been used inside your threat intelligence. Now what are those terminologies? Okay, so there is a cyber threat, vulnerability, zero-day attack, exploit, advanced persistent threat, risk. These are the terminologies which we use if we are associated with threat intel part. Okay, now cyber threat is what? Okay, now cyber threat is, it's an potential, or you can say it's an actual harmful activity which is giving or which is intending our information technology. Okay, which is attacking our information technology systems. Okay, now this activity can be a very malicious activity which can be done by the hacker, which can be done with the help of a malware, which can be done with the help of your phishing attack, another form of a cyber attack. Okay, like your DDoS attack, malware infection attack. Okay, data breaches, ransomware attack, social engineering attack. What are these? These are your cyber threats. Okay, now Second is your vulnerability. Now, what is a vulnerability? Whenever you hear this term vulnerability is what? It's a weakness. Okay, it's a flaw. Where that flaw is, either that flaw it can be inside your system, it can be inside your software, it can be inside your network. Okay, now what that flaw is? That flaw can lead to an cyber attack. That flaw or that particular vulnerability can be exploited. Further to that, it can be lead to an cyber attack. Okay, with the help of that attacker, what he can do, he can gain the unauthorized access, he can collect all the information. Okay, with the vulnerability, what do we have? We have associated with the vulnerability, we have an exploit, taking the advantage of that vulnerability. Okay, now next is your zero-day attack. Many times you have heard this term, zero-day attack. Okay, if nowadays if we are using Chrome browser, okay, you might have seen Chrome browser. Many times we have seen with this, it's having multiple zero-day vulnerabilities. A zero-day attack has been done with the Chrome browser. Okay, now what is this zero-day attack? Now zero-day attack is what? Let's say any attacker, okay, who took the advantage or who collected the information before knowing or before that vulnerability has been listed or before that software, who has created that software, okay, knowing that particular information. Okay, zero-day attack is a type of a cyber attack. So what we are doing, we are taking the advantage of a previously known software vulnerability. Okay, no protection has been given, no warning has been given, no payload or no patch or vulnerability has been listed for it. Today we have updated a patch, on the same day the vulnerability has been listed. Okay, even before the software developer or the vendor knows about that patch, knows about that information. That is what your zero-day attack is. Okay, now exploit is what? Exploit is taking the advantage of the vulnerability. Okay, now next we have is your advanced persistent threat. By the name itself, we can understand what is an advanced persistent threat. Okay, now if I am an attacker, okay, and I want to attack certain organization, let's take an example, InfoSec train. Okay, so first of all, what I will be doing, I will be collecting the information from an open source about my target. I collected all the information. Now I will be preparing my attack. Okay, now how that attack has been prepared? First of all, I will be targeting the internal employees, or else I can send some of the phishing mails as well. If anyone get in trap, the malware, I can send a malware in the, I can attach certain malware into that email. If someone click that email, straight away the malware will get installed into his device. Okay, now what my intentions are, my intention can change over here. Okay, I don't want to perform an attack as of now. I just want to collect the information. I just want to monitor what that user is doing, what all portals has been used inside that organization, what all websites have been used, what all tools can have been used. Okay, so what I can do as an attacker, first of all, targeted an employee of InfoSec train. Okay, sent an phishing email. Now in that phishing email, I attached a malware, okay, which is giving me an backdoor access. Okay, but the malware has given me the backdoor access. I didn't perform my further step. I didn't move into my further step. Okay, I remained silent. Okay, use this malware into a timely manner to monitor the activity of the user. Okay, I maintain my persistence, I maintain my presence inside in that device. I want to see what all application he's been using, what all credentials he has been using. Okay, what all website he's been visiting. Okay, that is what your advanced persistence is, maintaining a persistence into the targeted device. Okay, and then we have the risk. Now risk is what? It's an possibility, it's an probability. Okay, it may happen, it may not happen. Now I'm sitting in front of my laptop and at my hand I have a glass of water. Okay, now that glass of water can be a risk to my device. How it can be a risk to my device? The glass of water, the water may fill or may not. So what it is? It's a probability, may or may not. Same that risk is. It may happen, it may not happen. It's a probability. Okay. Now, these are few of the terminologies which we generally talk, particularly inside your threat intel part. Okay. Now, nowadays we are using multiple essentials as well to define particular your threat intelligence. So you can say we have the information security as well, where possibly the tampering can may happen. Okay, so a threat intel is been associated with an information, it's been associated with an data. Now data is what? It's in generally a raw format. Okay, huge volume which is inside a raw format which does not include any context. Okay, then we have is your information. Now information is what? It's a bunch of raw data which is providing an meaningful information. Okay, then we have is your intelligence. Intelligence is what? We are analyzing all this information, all this data in a broader depth, in a broader perspective. Okay, now all three things have been related with each other: intelligence, information, and data. If there is an data, that data is storing certain information. Now, as in threat intel, what we are going to do, we are going to get in-depth knowledge about that particular information. Okay. Now, multiple times intelligence security team, or when we are doing a security testing, which is going to provide us stages of an, or you can say we are getting particularly a guide to perform this stage. Okay. Now, what this stage has been talking about, how it should be or how security testing to be conducted. Okay, what attack or methods to be simulated. Okay, and where should we focus all these resources? Now these are the three important element which has been used while the threat intel testing has been performed. How it should be tested, how it should be conducted, why attack methods to be simulated, and what should be focused. Okay, so these are certain scenarios which can be built inside an organization to perform a threat intel. Okay, now again when we are doing this threat intel, now there are certain stages of an cyber threat intelligence which we will be discussing down the line. Okay, now what are the cyber threat intelligence stages? Let's discuss it one by one. To do a cyber threat intelligence. Now this concept has been related with an Donald Rumsfeld concept, which is known as an unknown concept. Okay, now why this concept has been used? Now this concept is giving us an cyber threat intelligence categories to understand. Okay, to understand about your potential threat. Okay, or else you can say this will be helping us to analyze their level of an awareness. Okay, so what do we have? We have known knowns, we have known unknowns, and unknown knowns. Now what are this known knowns? Known knowns is going to represent the threat and vulnerability that has been well understood, which has been documented. Okay, so these are what? These are your cyber security risk to an organization, which organization is aware of it. They have the information of it. Okay, the vulnerability is been listed inside your NVD, which is known as your known vulnerability, or there is an information of that malware as well. The common attacking techniques are also available into an open source. Okay, so organization, they can do, they can protect or they can defend it from that threat. Okay, then we have is your known unknowns. Now known unknowns are what? These are the threats or the vulnerability that are recognized as an potential threat. Okay, no enough information is available. Okay, there are areas where the awareness or the gap of the knowledge can be given, but more to that, we don't have complete information of the threat or of that vulnerability. Okay, there is a malware, but that malware is not discovered yet. That malware is not is been listed inside your NVD. That malware details are not listed inside your MITRE as well. Okay, but what we can do as an organization, we can prepare an awareness training to be given inside our organization. Okay, then we have is your unknown knowns. Now unknown knowns are what? It is going to represent the threat of the vulnerability that is entirely unexpected. Okay, no information of that vulnerability. That can be a risk to an organization, but organizations are not aware of that particular vulnerability. Like your 0-day vulnerability, it's your unknown known, unknown unknowns. We don't have that information. We released the update. Okay, the developer team also don't have the information. A straight away attacker, what they have done, they have listed the vulnerability, they had disclosed some information. Okay, now this goals of a cyber threat intelligence is going to, or you can say, which is helping us organization to categorize all those event or all those incident into 3 format, which is known as your known knowns. Over here we know the information, we have the all the information of the this particular of that particular vulnerability. Okay, complete information has been there, so we can prepare our defenses. Then we have known unknowns where we have limited information of our threat, of our vulnerability. And unknown unknowns is what? We don't have no we don't have any information of that particular vulnerability. Okay, so these are what? These are the categories, these are the stages of your cyber threat intelligence. Okay, now we have certain characteristic of a threat intelligence as well. Okay, now what are those characteristics? Characteristics are your how the data is being collected. Okay, how you are going to prioritize your data, what are the IOCs, what are the new protection strategies, and how you are going to campaign it again. Okay, so what we have done, we have break down each and every characteristic into different form. So first is your collection of an data. Now collection of an data is what we are doing over here. We are systematically collecting the information from multiple sources. Okay, now this data can include your information or cybersecurity threat. It can include your vulnerability, it can include your cyber attack tactics. Okay, or any particular trend of an attack. Okay, so what we are doing, we are simply going with a foundation step of a threat intel. Okay, raw material, or we are analyzing and making the decision that this can be a potential threat to our organization. Okay, we simply collected the information, gather the information of that vulnerability or that particular threat. Next is your prioritize often data. Okay, now over here what we are doing, we are simply not only just collecting the information, we are also prioritizing the data onto the basis of its relevance, onto the basis of its credibility, onto the basis of your potential impact inside an organization. Whenever there is a vulnerability has been listed, the vulnerability has been listed into an CVSS, a score has been given, isn't it? CVSS score has been given. It's a risk, it's an high, it's a low, it's a medium. Okay, post to that, we have a severity and the CVSS score. So what we are doing, we are simply prioritizing that vulnerability. It can be an critical, it can be an informational, it can be an you can say a least critical. So what we are doing over here, distributing it. Okay, we are prioritizing onto the basis of it scoring system. Okay, so on the basis of this priority, organization, what they can do, they can focus onto their resources. They can address those vulnerability. It's a critical vulnerability, let's address it immediately, let's work on it. Okay, if it isn't low, okay, we have a tat for it. It can be addressed in 7 to 12 days, depending on to the organization to organization, what the tat has been defined for it. Okay, now next we have is your IOCs. Now IOCs is known as your indicators of compromise. Okay, now threat intel are often using or you can say if you are associated with threat intel, you will be always using this particular term, indicators of compromise, IOCs, such as your IP address, your domain name, file hashes, okay, your pattern to end malicious behavior. So what are this? These are being used to detect or to identify the potential cyber attack. Okay, now IOCs are what? IOCs are your actionable pieces of your information security. Okay, which can be used to detect or which can be used to respond or which can be used to treat that threat. Okay, so what we are doing, we are simply creating the rules, deciding the rules that which particular cyber defense to be used onto the basis of this IOCs. Okay, then we have is your new protectional strategies. As a threat intel, we are providing certain insight to that emerging threats. Okay, so organization is developing or adapting certain strategies to defend from that threat or to defend from that cyber risk. Okay, we are staying ahead from that particular adversaries, from the cyber attacks. How we are doing that? Updating and improvising into a security measure by adding certain controls, performing an gap assessment, performing an vulnerability assessment. So what we are doing, we are trying to bypass the controls to check whether we are having any vulnerability into our network or into our application. Okay, so we will be staying ahead from any particular risk, isn't it? So we keep ourselves updated, we keep on improvising the security measure, improving our security measures. Okay, and threat intel will be helping into that. Active campaigns are what? Okay, so in active campaigns, we organization, what they will be doing, they will be giving certain, you can say, awareness program based onto the security awareness program or phishing attack awareness training program. Okay, so organization will be actively performing these campaigns, okay, to defend from any particular intermediate threat. Okay, so in security awareness program, what the information has been given. By any chance, if you visit any of the website, okay, or you got receive any particular pop-up onto the screen, the pop-up is giving you the information that it can be a malicious. Straight away contact to your admin team or contact to your security team. Okay, if you receive any certain email which is asking you to give your information, cross verify it from where it has been sent, who has been sending it. Okay, check the domains. What are this? We are simply cross verifying all the things, whether it's a legitimate one or not. Okay, so what are these? These are your essential terminologies, some of the characteristic of your threat intelligence which has been used inside an organization or which is been used as a threat intel officer. Okay, enable to detect, enable to respond, enable to mitigate some of the cyber threat. Okay. Now the questions arise over here. What are the benefits of an cyber threat intelligence? Why do we use the cyber threat intelligence? Now, cyber threat intelligence is going to offer you several significance, okay, benefits depending on to the size of an organization. Okay, now this is going to reduce some of the risk as well. Some of the risk associated to a cyber attack, how it can be used. So here are certain key points of it. Okay, providing great insights into cyber threat, prevent data loss by identifying the cause of a data leakage. Okay, guiding in incident response, conducting data analysis to identify the exploitable data, sharing threat information to spread the awareness. Okay, so what are these? These are the certain benefits which can be obtained by the organization if they are having certain threat intelligence. Okay, we are proactively doing a threat mitigation. How it is been done by providing an insight into an information of a threat, information of a vulnerability, performing a threat intelligence allowance as well. Okay, so what we are doing? We are doing a proactive approach to prevent or to minimize the impact of a cyber attack. Okay, we are enhancing the situation of an awareness as well. Threat intel perform that too, which is going to improvise an organization in order to understand certain uh, you can say cybersecurity environment, how it has been used. Okay, now with this particular cyber threat intelligence, we can get you can say we can faster apply certain or you can say there will be a threat response team who will be working actively on it if by any chance if any incident has been happened inside an organization. Okay, so threat intel team will be keeping an all the information up to date. Okay, what has been detected, how it has been detected, what is the reason behind this particular threat. Okay, threat intel can reduce your false positive as well. Okay, which is also going to help the organization fine tuning all the security controls to detect certain security control systems as well. Okay, if there is any false positive alert has been generated, so analyze those alert, how it has been generated. Okay, what is the reason behind it. So what we are doing, we are narrowing down our searches over there. Okay, now with this cyber threat intelligence, we can also improvise or improve certain risk management as well. Okay, now how it has been improved. So while performing a risk management, or you can say threat intelligence is going to assist your risk management team. Okay, they will be collecting the information and those information will be helped while doing an vulnerability assessment or to do an risk management strategies as well. Okay, we can have an better security strategies. Okay, we can protect against advanced threat as well. Nowadays we have multiple apts available. Okay, what are the tactics, what are the techniques, what are the procedures to be used. Okay, now from where we can get all this information, let me show you one thing. MITRE is an organization. What they have done, they have introduced a framework by the name of an attack. Okay, now this MITRE attack framework, what they are going to give us the information of all the well-known or you can say the very famous attack patterns. Now from where I can get all these attack patterns? First of all, what are the attack patterns? These are the list of your attack pattern, how the attack can be initiated. Okay, so we have in total 14 techniques, 14 tactics. So MITRE is giving us your 14 tactics, starting with a reconnaissance, that is your collecting the information, resource development, initial access, execution, persistence, privilege escalation. Okay, defense evasion, credential access, discovery, lateral movement. collection, command and control, exfiltration, and impact. What are these? These are your 14 tactics. Now to do this tactic, let's say to do on reconnaissance, what do we have? We have different techniques available. What are the techniques which we can use or attacker can use? These are your techniques. T157 and under to T1595 we have sub techniques. To do active scanning, we can do a scanning IP block, we can do a vulnerability scanning, wordless scanning. These are your sub techniques. Okay, if we go under techniques, there are in total 196 techniques and 411 sub techniques. Okay, now there will be a question into your mind that if I am talking about well-known attack or the attack pattern, where are all these attacks? From where I can get all this information? If you go under the group, onto the left-hand side, what are these? These are your famous well-known attacks. Okay, these are your well-known attacks, which is going to give us the information how that attack has been initiated. So simply, if my organization is using those tools, is been setting into that area, so straight away I will be having the complete detail of that attack pattern. So I can prepare my defenses additionally, isn't it? Okay. So organizations started adopting this MITRE attack framework. You might have heard about cyber kill chain framework as well. Now, what is the cyber kill chain framework? It has been talking about, it has been giving you the information how the attack has been done. So we have a step-by-step approach for each and everything. Okay, cyber kill chain is also talking about your step-by-step approach. What will be the first step? What will be the second step? If I want to perform an attack, how I will be performing an attack, or how the attacker will be initiating the attack. Okay, so there was a person by the name of Lockheed Martin. What he have done, he have introduced the cyber kill chain methodology, cyber kill chain framework. Okay, so in cyber kill chain framework, let's understand from an attacker perspective. If I'm an attacker, so let's say I want to attack infosec train, that is my target. So with the help of an cyber kill chain, how we can perform, what that step has been talking about. So first of all, I will be collecting the information of my target. Okay, what that organization has been doing, where it has been located. Okay, how many employees have been associated with this organization, and post to that what tools, what technologies they have been using, each and every details. Okay, once I have all the information, after that I am going to prepare an attack. Okay, I am going to prepare a weapon post to that. What that weapon will be, that weapon can be an malware or that weapon can be a payload. Okay, I want to send an malware. Okay, now to send an malware, what I will be doing, I will be sending it through an phishing email. Okay, that will be my third step, which is talking about a delivery. I want to initiate it, I want to send the information. So how that will be done? With the help of a delivery part. Okay, now post to that, I sent it an email to the employees, internal employee of an infosec train. Now if anyone by any chance click onto that email or opens that email, that will be my exploitation part. Or if they click onto the link, straight away that malware will get installed in the device. That is my fifth step, which is talking about an installation. Once it has been installed, straight away I will be having a full access control to that device. Okay, command and control. Post to that, what I will be doing, I will be performing an action on objective, whatever my end goal is, whatever my agenda is, to get the information or to collect more detail of my target. That is what an action on objective is. These are the 7 stages of a cyber kill chain. Okay, so cyber kill chain framework, 7 stages, isn't it? Reconnaissance, weaponization, create a weapon, send that weapon, delivery, exploitation, installation, command and control, action and objective. Okay, these are your 7 stages. Now, MITRE, what they have done, they had adopted this stages, cyber kill chain, and elaborated the 7 stages into 14 stages. Okay, so as an organization, I can adopt this framework. Totally depending on to organization to organization. If they want to adopt, they can adopt this framework. They can take and reference. They can take and help from this framework. Next we have is how organization can objective certain threat to this intelligence problem. Okay, how we can objectify these terms. First of all, improved incident detection, guidance on cybersecurity activity, enhancing automated incident prevention, improvising risk management. Okay, now how this can be done and what this particularly is focusing on. Now improved incident detection. How we can do that? Okay. Now if we are using an IDS and IPS, so what we can do additionally? Okay, we can design in such a way that whatever traffic is being monitored, monitor into a suspicious pattern. Okay, they can automatically detect and respond to the attack. Whatever request has been generated, identify the request, cross-verify the request with the help of your file signatures. Okay, so we have an signature recognitions. Whatever application is, that application will be having certain signatures, file signatures. For example, it's an exe. For exe, the file signature is your 4D5A. Recognize it from an file signatures. Okay, we can add and sim tools. We can utilize it, security information and event management. What that sim has been doing, it is segregating all these logs. Okay, from that log, from that event, what we can do, we can identify the this security incident. Okay, we can implement certain network traffic analyzers, deep packet inspection, or the network traffic analyzing tools. What they can do, they can provide you a real-time visibility into your network traffic. Okay, you can use certain threat intelligence feeds as well. You can subscribe to some of the threat intelligence feeds. Nowadays, we have multiple feeds available. Alien World, which is also giving you the information if there is any new particular incident or ISC has been listed. You can get all those informations. Implement endpoint detection, EDR solutions. Again, it's a monitoring tool. It can monitor and analyze all those activities on endpoints, like your computer, servers, mobile devices. Isn't it? You can review the logs as well if all the logs has been captured in your device as well if you are using this Windows device. If you are using Mac OS, okay, we can self-analyze all those logs. We can we can do an incident activity and you can collect all the information. Okay, if any tool or if any particular application has been installed, you can cross-verify it as well. Okay, you can check all those uh, all those particular events too from your own devices. Okay, and additionally what you can do, you can provide an training or an awareness program to each and every employees. Okay, well trained employees we will be having first of all. Okay, at least you will be educating your staff regarding your cybersecurity best practices. What are the phishing awareness, how to protect from all the suspicious activities. Okay, now threat hunting also can be done. If you are having a team, you can perform on threat hunting activities as well, which is going to involve you can say automatic detection. We can use automatic detection tool to collect all this information. Okay, so what we are doing, we are performing a continuous improvement. Okay, so this is how you can your organization can objectify certain threat in an intelligence program. Okay, now how threat intelligence is going to help your organization, how it can be done, the main questions arise over here. How this threat intelligence is going to help your organization. So what we have a life cycle to it. What is the process first of all to do a threat intelligence, and what is the outcome of it. For example, if we are performing a threat intelligence activity inside an organization, or we identify certain threat, okay, post to that, what will be the work of it? How we are going to act on that particular threat? So what do we have? We have a life cycle to it. Here we go. Okay. Now there is a concept which I have mentioned into the screen. So first is your recovery. Okay. First of all is your identify and protect. Okay. Then we have is your detect, respond, and recovery. Okay. So these are the 4 stages to performance threat intel. Now first stage has been talking about your identifying and protect. So we are going to identify. It's an initial phase of an incident response plan. Okay, so what it's going to do, it is going to involve certain, or you can say it is going to recognize some of the potential cybersecurity threats and vulnerabilities. Okay, now this phase includes your monitoring the network, monitoring your system log, analyzing your security this alerts as well. Okay, if you are performing certain vulnerability assessment, that is also again it's a part of your identifying and protection. So what we are doing, we are simply identifying the threats and vulnerabilities. Okay, post to that, we detect it. What we are doing, we are protecting it. Okay, after identifying your potential threat, your organization is going to take a major protection action against those vulnerability. Okay, now this includes your security control access, restriction to your control access, or you can say providing or preventing a certain measure to reduce those attacks. Okay, or what we are end goal is to minimize the risk of an exploitation, isn't it? Okay, now once the first step has been completed, we will be moving into the step number 2, which is known as your detection. The second phase. In this phase, what the organization will be doing, they will be focusing on actively monitoring into the network, actively monitoring into the system, actively monitoring into your security incident. Okay, your defense mechanism will be working over here, such as your IDS, such as your same tools. Okay, you are analyzing the real-time traffic at a time by at that particular time. Okay, you are used to identify some of the unusual or malicious activity, you can say. If we are using an IDS, if we are using a SIM, they will be giving you an alert. What alert has been given? If there is any particular potential security incident has been detected, alert is been generated. Okay, your incident response team will be alerted over here. They will start acting on it. They will take a timely decision. This is a critical event. Let's minimize the impact of that incident. Let's act on that incident. Okay, the primary object of that detection of that incident will be you can say uh, uh, detect it as early as possible, and post to that start work on it. Okay, rapidly response, or you can say you can containment those devices or those network as well. Containment means bring those devices down from the network, isolate all those devices, which is going to reduce certain damage, which is going to reduce certain data loss as well. Okay, then we have is your response mechanism. Now response is your planning phase, response phase. Once the security incident has been confirmed, the incident response team, what they are going to do, they are going to develop a response plan. Okay, what that plan will be, that plan is going to give you an outline of all the steps, outline of all the action that has been required, okay, to mitigate those incident. What we are going to do, we are going to assign certain roles and responsibility to the team members. First of all will be your containment. Containment is what the team, or you can say the response team, is going to take an immediate action onto those containment or onto that incident. Okay, So further this incident or further this particular malware should not be spread. Okay, so this involves your isolating the devices, isolating the affected system, blocking all those malicious traffic as well. So we are simply disabling some of the compromised account. Okay, next will be your eradication and recovery. Okay, eradication and recovery is after the containment. The team, what they are going to do, they are going to eradicate the threat. They are going to remove that threat, remove that vulnerability from the affected system. Once the vulnerability has been patched, once the malware has been removed, recovery process has been begun. Okay, restore the devices, restore the data from the backup. Once the eradication recovery has been done, then your communication process has been established, process has been initiated. Okay, the organization is going to communicate with your stakeholders. Okay, which is going to include your employees as well, your customer as well, your law enforcement team as well, if required. If they want to publish the information publicly, they can do that as well, that we have been under attack with this malware and we had certain data loss. Okay, you can create certain SOPs as well. Okay, if you want to make it public, you can your organization can make it public as well. If you want to share this information with your you can say employees or with the customer as well, yes, they can do it. Okay, then after that is your documentation part. Throughout this response phase, the detailed documentation of the action has been taken place. Whatever evidence has been collected, whatever lessons has been learned to maintain or analyze all those incidents, that each and everything should be reported. Okay, and last part is your recovery. Now recovery planning, in this phase, the organization, what they are going to do, they are going to execute the full recovery of all the affected system and the services. Now this is going to ensure your security measures as well. Okay, you are going to prevent certain security measures, you are going to prevent certain accounts as well. Okay, now the incident response team, they will be conducting throughout, or you can say throughout the post incident activity, they are going to identify the weakness, they are going to respond onto that weakness, and they are going to make an improvement or improvisation for the further incident handling. Okay, what are the key elements we have learned from this intelligence? Okay, starting from your identify and protection to the recovery, what we have learned, what the lesson has been learned from this. Okay, what was the weakness due to which the attack has been happened? That is your lesson learned, the final process of your threat intelligence. Okay, now with the help of the cycle, we can help our organization in order to perform the threat intelligence. Okay, so whenever it has been asked how the process has been happening, so there is the first step of it: identifying and protection, detect, respond, and recovery. Identify your vulnerability. If it has been detected, start acting on it. Okay, what is the root cause of that vulnerability? Okay, if you got the information, respond to it. Okay, respond to it, it means you are going to isolate those services, isolate those devices, or isolate those network from the network. Okay, for example, there are 50 devices in my organization. Attacker attacked into the internal organization network. Out of 50 devices, 12 devices have been compromised. Okay, we identified the information that 12 devices are under attack. Okay, our organization is under attack. We detected the information that 12 devices have been affected. Straight away, we are going to respond on it. We are going to take down all these 12 devices, or we are going to isolate all these 12 devices from the network. So post to that, there will be no other activity. So attacker, we have simply stopped that attack. Okay, now Once this has been isolated, we are going to perform an threat intel onto it. Okay, or else you can say your forensic team will be working over here. They will be start acting, or they will be start collecting all the evidence of the attack. Okay, how the attack has been happened, what the root cause of that attack is, complete information has been given, report has been generated, and we are going to patch those vulnerability. Okay, again, VAPT has been done of all this device, got the information, patched the vulnerability, okay, formatted the device, again recover those devices, bring back the device onto a normal day-to-day life into the network. Okay, this is how the threat intel has been working on. Okay, now there are different types of your threat intelligence, which we generally look into. If we are inside an organization, we have different types of an threat intelligence. Okay, so generally we have 4 categories. First is your strategic, second is your tactic, third is your technical, fourth is your operational. Okay, now what are this detail, what are these particular things I've been talking about? Okay, no worries. Now, when we are talking about types of threat intelligence, so what we have the strategic threat as well. Now, the strategic threat has been talking about your high information regarding to your cyber security posture. Okay. Now, over here, we are going to consume high level executions, which has been given by the management of the organization. Okay. Now, how the information has been collected? The information has been collected from the designated sources like your OSINT, CTI vendors, okay, like your Isakas, they will be giving you the information. So what we are doing, we are generally making a report to maintain all these high level business strategies. Okay, it is used to maintain or to take and strategic business decisions onto the basis of an analyze, onto the basis of the effectiveness. Okay, then we have is your second one, which is known as your tactical threat intelligence. Now this tactical threat intelligence uh, is going to provide certain information related to your TTPs, threat actors. Okay, it is going to you can say consumed by all your security professionals such as your IT managers, your security operation managers, administratives. Okay, architecture. Now how we are going to collect all this information? We are going to collect the information from an campaign report. We can collect the information from a malware report, your incident report, attack group report, human intelligence as well. Okay, manually collecting all this information. Okay, now again this thing has been generated in the form of a forensic report has been generated with a high technical information such as your malware campaigns, technical tools will be used. Okay, now next we have is your operational. Okay, operational threat intelligence. Internally we are collecting the information as of now. We thought that there is an internal threat actor. Now how we are going to collect the information internally? Okay, so all these things have been talking about strategic, tactic, operational, and technical. Now operational is what? Operational is a threat intelligence which is going to give you or going to provide an information about a specific threat against that organization. Okay, it can be consumed by your security managers or by your head of your incident response team or by your network defensive team or by performing a system forensic or by doing any particular fraud detection terms. Okay, now over here what we are going to collect, we are going to collect the sources from human social media and or from a chat room or any particular this open sources. Okay, so generally into the form generally what we are going to do over here, we are going to contain all the uh, malicious we are going to contain all the information of your malicious activities. Okay, Not only that, we are helping the organization in order to understand what can be a possible threat actors along to this incident or to this attacks. Okay, what can be your vulnerable IT assets, and post to this, what can be an impact to an organization. For an organization, asset can be anything. Asset can be your laptop, asset can be your desk, asset can be your data, asset can be an employee. Okay, anything is holding a value can be an asset for an organization. Okay, then we have is your technical threat intelligence. Now this technical threat intelligence is going to provide an information about your attacker resources. Okay, now such as your command and control channels, tools. Okay, now how we can collect this information with the help of a security operations, uh, the centers or from your IR teams. Okay, now again all this information is often for an shorter period of is having a shorter life span. Why? As we compare to your tactical threat intelligence, which is majorly focusing to a specific this indicators. Okay, now this indicator, or you can say the technical threat, which we have collected from your SOC team, which we have collected from an active campaigns. Okay, so organization, what they are going to do, they are going to narrow down this incident. Okay, they are going to improvise or improve certain defensive mechanism or detecting mechanism by adding certain indicators such as your IDS, IPS, firewall, endpoint security system. Okay, so what we are doing, we are performing a technical threat intelligence over here. Okay, now similarly, what do we have? We have different threat intelligence generations as well. Okay, so you can say as the things are getting evolved, so what we have done, we have created a phases of an escalations to performance threat intelligence. We have first phase, which is known as your pre-planning. We have phase 2, which is talking about an event. In phase 1, in pre-planning, what we do, where you can say the information of the hacker group has been collected. Okay, so what are the different types of an hacker groups are there, what are the activity they have been performing. Okay, what are organization they have been performing. Okay, what will be the different asset they can target. Okay, what are the various tools, or what are the possible attack scenarios will be. Now all this information you can get from your MITRE framework, which I have shown you. Okay, over there you can get the information about the attacker groups. APTs has been talking about the attacks. Okay, and along with that you can get the information who is performing this attack, or where this attack has been performed, to which organization, which state. Even you can get all this information as well. Okay, what can be a possible scenario, what tools has been used, post to that tools, what particular vulnerability has been listed. All those information you can get it from here. Okay, now this is your phase 1 pre-planning. Then we have phase 2, which is talking about your events. Okay, operationals, or you can say tactical threat intelligence, which is going to help you to provide all the contents. Okay, so we inside an organization, to generate all this event and activity, what we have sim tools. Okay, we have SOC operation centers, which is going to give you the information, what incident, what events is been generated, and opposed to that we can escalate all those security incident. Okay, now we have phase 3. Phase 3 has been talking about your incident. Okay, after an incident, what has to be taken place into the network. Okay, operational threat intelligence team, what they are going to do, they are going to help us to obtain more knowledge about the threat. They are going to give us the more information about that indicators. Okay, what are the threat actor, what are their capabilities, what are their opportunities. what can be their opportunities. Okay, and step 4 has been talking about the breach. If the breach has been happened, okay, so organization is going to consider it's an essential in the report. Okay, critical incident, it should be escalated into an breach, strategic to be provided. Okay, threat intel team is going to provide you the answer. What answer they are going to provide? What hasn't happened? What happened? Post to that, how it has been happened? What is the reason behind this occurrence? What is the reason behind this breach? What are the essential steps need to be taken to avoid such kind of a breach in future? That what information has been given by your threat intel team. Okay, so how we can enhance our this incident response team? Okay, by establishing certain SOPs. Okay, such as your IP address, URLs, domain names, malware. Okay, so what we can do, we can simply update all those things, such as you can say, um, we can simply scan our URLs. Okay, what user has been visiting. Okay, what all activities have been happening into the URL. Okay, post to that, we can get the information how much daily this activities have been happening, how much traffic has been generated. Okay, is there any particular malware or hash or any particular file name has been used? Check your domain, always update your domain. Okay, cross verify your certificates as well. Okay, so what are this? These are certain scenarios that organization can use. Okay, now post to that, what do we have? Okay, now this threat intelligence generation has been talking about strategics, operational and tactical things. Strategic is your vulnerability assessment, vulnerability detection, risk assessment. Then we have is your operational, which has been talking about your senior enrichment and signature creations. Okay, first step, we are exploiting and identifying the risk assessment. Operational filtration has been done, impact of an assessment has been done. Okay, post to that, we have an tactics, investigating, forensic team has been working over here. TTPs have been analyzed. What technical things to be used, what active campaigns to be used. Okay, if there is any threat or any particular security incident has been happened, so threat intel platform, what they are going to do, they are going to perform this strategies. Your data process has been done like this, it's been streamlined like this. Okay, from where you can get all this information. First of all, risk assessment or the management, you can say, information has been collected from there. Okay, so post to that, what we have is your again in threat intelligence has been collected with the help of an, if we integrate inside our SIM, providing all the real-time support to your SOC. Okay, your threat detector mechanism has been working, your speed up triage of an alert has been working over there. Not only that, your threat tracking process has been combined. Okay, your known, unknown, uncover unknown threats, all the information has been collected over here. Then we have we will be, if everything is under control, or let's say if some attack has been done, okay, or data has been breached, we will be processing with those phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. Phase 1 is talking about pre-planning, phase 2 has been talking about an event. Okay, again the phase 3 has been talking about your indicates, phase 4 has been talking about your breaches. Okay, it works with your threat intelligence generations. Okay, now what is the role of a threat analyst or a threat intelligence officer inside an organization? Okay, how he will be performing his task, what is the step-by-step approach of that particular person is. Okay, so here are the 4 steps which he will be determining. Okay, so first step is your collection, process and exploitation. Step number 2, analyze and production, and third is your disseminating, and integration. So first collect the information, then process and exploitation has been worked. Okay, processing that particular collection, whatever information has been collect, process those collection. Okay, then analyze all those incident, analyze all those activity. Okay, and post to that take an action onto it. Okay, so if I'm working as a threat intel officer, okay, so as an officer or as a particular analyst, I will be working into this four phases. First, collecting the information. Once the information has been collected, okay, we are going to process of it, process that information, process those ISCs, process those this details. Okay, then analyze it, if it is a malicious one or if it is a not a malicious activity. If it is a malicious activity, take an appropriate action to it. Okay, these are certain responsibility of a cyber threat analyst. Collect up to date and accurate data. From where he is going to collect all this information? He is going to collect the information from a dark web, from an intelligence feed, from intelligence sources as well. Analyze all the collected data, understand the technique of all the security aspect. Okay, post to that, identify the breach, the risk of all that collected data. Okay, identify, monitor, and assess all this particular data from an various attack. Okay, stay ahead from all those adversaries by understanding the latest attack TTPs, techniques. Okay, get the information of the IOCs, latest IOCs. Understand the motive of an attacker by analyzing the characteristic of an habitat of an threat actors. Threat actor can be anyone. It can be an insider threat. It can be an external threat. Insider threat can be an individual employee of an organization. For example, I can act or I can work as an insider threat for an infosector. How? If I'm not happy with my organization, my manager is not giving me appropriate appraisal. Okay, if I'm associated with the organization from last 5 to 6 years, they are not recognizing my work. So I can act as an insider threat over here. Okay, I can sell the information or I can disclose all the information publicly. Okay, an external threat can be an attacker or hackers. Okay, so what we are doing, we are simply guiding the organization in order to build certain effective defense or mechanism or some of the strategies, mitigating strategies. Okay, by collecting all this information. Okay, now threat intelligence can be, or you can say there are certain use cases you can take by generating alarms, alerts, events, prioritizing all those event. Incident response can work over here. Your investigation and mitigate can work over here. Your fusion analysis can work over here in order to get more information. Okay, now if an analyst has been working into certain scenario, what are the responsibilities of an cyber threat intelligence analyst? What are his responsibilities? Here we have. Okay, first detect that particular threat and analyze all those incident. Then incident response has been working over there. Then threat intelligence gathering. He need to collect all the information. How we can collect all the information? We have multiple open source available, isn't it? OSINT. Again, whatever information you want, you can get the information. It's a very good framework, in fact. Okay, for example, if you have the username, or if you want to check certain domain IPs have been collected. Okay, so what we can do, we can simply let's say I want the information of an IP address. Just click over here. If you have the if you want to know the geolocation, we have multiple websites available over here. Just click onto it. It is going to redirect to that particular website. If you have that IP address, just give that IP address. It is going to collect this information. Okay. Now, this T stands for the tool. Okay. Now, OSINT is going to give us multiple sources. Again, you can take an help of this OSINT. Okay. Post to that, you can use certain tools as well to do and threat intelligence. Okay, to collect all this information. Again, open source with the help of an Google, with the help of an social media, with the help of an by visiting certain domains like Shodan. Okay, so you can gather more and more information. Okay, so what I was been talking about, responsibilities of an cyber threat analyst. So if I am working as a cyber threat analyst, I will be working as a threat detection, or I will be collecting the information from an open source. Okay, so we have multiple open source available. We have OSINT tool framework, or else we can use the Shodan, or else we can use certain tools as well. Nowadays we have multiple tools available. With the help of that, we can get more and more information. Okay, post to that, a cyber threat analyst has been working as an incident response as well. Okay, they will be collecting the information. If required, they will be performing a manual analysis as well. Manual analysis as in, for example, uh, a phishing email has been sent. Okay, now we are going to process, or we are going to analyze that email. What that link has been provided, what that link is of. Okay, cross verify that link, from which domain that email has been received. If if that link is containing certain malware, get more information of it, what that malware can do. Not only that, if any other email has been sent to other IDs as well. Okay, so like this, what we are going to do, we are simply going to collect the information. Okay, then we have is your threat hunting. Now, as in threat hunting, what we are going to do, we are going to hunt some of the information. Not only that, we can you can add one more point over here. Vulnerability assessment, it's again a part of it. Okay, we are going to identify the vulnerabilities in software systems, infrastructure. Okay, your regular assessment or the vulnerability scanning has been done. We are going to prioritize vulnerabilities based on to the risk and potential impact. Okay, so we can use security tools management as well. We have multiple security tools management available nowadays. IDS, IPS, it's a, again, it's a security management tool. Okay, your SIM, again, it's a security management tool. Log analysis, we are going to review and analyze all the logs from various sources, including your firewall, routers, application servers, to detect certain security incident. Okay, certain thing, what we are doing over here, we are proactively searching for the sign of a malicious activity. Okay, we are using advanced technique over here to identify any hidden persistent threat, APTs. Remember, advanced persistent threat, hidden malware. With the help of a certain thing, we are going to identify it. Okay, and the next part is your reporting and documentation. After every analysis, we are going to store all the information, how that process has been initiated from step number 1 to step number 10. We are going to prepare a detailed report on that security incident, on that particular security vulnerability, on that threat assessment, a document of an incident response production of the action which has been taken place. We are going to collect, we are going to mention each and every information of it. Okay, security awareness training. Okay, so what we are doing, we are creating, or we are delivering certain security awareness training program to educate all the employees about the security best practices. Policies, if required, update the policies. Okay, or give the information what policies or protocol has been used inside an organization. You can do that as well. Okay, continuous improvement. Again, it's a corrective action which has been taken care by your security threat, cyber threat intelligence analyst. Stay up to date. regarding all this landscape, regarding all your industry trend. Okay, we have to keep ourselves updated onto the daily basis scenario. What new attack has been happening into the market? Okay, which new tools has been breached? Which new application has been breached? Okay, stay up to date regarding to that. Okay, so these are the roles and responsibility of an cyber threat analyst if we are working as a cyber threat analyst or a threat intel team. Okay, so this will be the roles and responsibility for that individual.